I would like to introduce you all to my CatLocked Ironman. There are 3 rules for this account. First, I must have a cat following me at all times. If for whatever reason I can't have my cat following me, it has to be in my inventory. Second, I only have 9 lives. If my cat runs away, I lose 1 life. And if I die and lose my cat in the process, I lose 2 lives. Third, I can only complete cat-related content. And I can only use cat-related items. I'm also allowing myself to use items that drop from cat-themed mobs. The goal of this series is to complete all cat-related content in old school RuneScape. Some goals seem far away right now, but with a cat by my side, anything is possible. Let's begin. Welcome back. Today, we're going to start with a little bit of housekeeping. I had a ton of good feedback for episode 1 on Reddit and YouTube, and my favorite comments were the ones saying that I lost Gertrude's cat and not my own cat, so I shouldn't have lost a life. If I cared about honor or trust, I would have ignored this, but I like this take, because it makes my life easier. And seeing how episode 1 went, I'm gonna need as many lives as I can get. So, to keep track of everything from here on out, I've created a Google Doc that's linked in the description of this video. It has every NPC we're allowed to kill, all quests we're allowed to complete, and skills I plan to train. I fully expect this doc will grow and change, and if you have any suggestions or know of any cat-related content I'm missing, please let me know. I want to quickly talk about the skills we're allowed to train. On screen now, you'll see every skill I've allowed myself to train as a CatLocked account. In the Google Doc, I've provided a cat-themed rationale for why a skill is eligible or not. For example, I will be doing farming and herb lore because cats like eating plants. But I won't be doing rune crafting because cats are lazy, I guess. The main issue here are quest requirements, mainly Dragon Slayer 2, which is the peak of CatLocked content. I've decided that as we progress, I won't touch the skills I'm not allowed to train, but if we get to a point where the skills become required to complete whatever cat-related content comes next, I'll train them. Quest point requirements are also a concern for certain quests, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Finally, I want to clarify some long-term goals for the account now. I will be keeping our big long-term goals a secret, but I don't want you guys thinking I'm just running around without a purpose. After we knock out our Cat Speak Amulet, Rat Pole, and Cat Training Medal, Scurrius will be the first big goal for this account. Our first Scurrius KC is going to be rough, because we won't have overheads, and I'm CatLocked. Early prayer levels are a huge limiting factor on this account. Overheads are going to be critical for us to consistently do just about anything, so we'll need to limit test the content we can do without them until we have them. So to our current goal, getting a Cat Speak Amulet from Ictalarn's Little Helper. This quest requires we navigate a bunch of stupid agility obstacles, so I'm going to be training some agility before we go to the desert. But more importantly, this quest requires you kill a level 91 mob and a mob between levels 75 and 81. The optimal low-level method to complete this quest uses Poison Dynamite, but that requires the Watchtower quest. Another option would have been a Poison Bone Dagger, but we can't do Lost Tribe. With this being said, my best option is likely to grind up my combat stats and get whatever gear I can. Good early items for us are mostly locked behind early Slayer monsters, so before we go punch chickens or kick spiders, we're going to get started with Slayer. Spira will be our best Slayer Master, because she's the only Slayer Master who will consistently assign tasks we can do. If she ever doesn't assign a task we can do, we go to Turiel for a replacement task, and pray. To use Spira as a Slayer Master, we need to complete the Porcine of Interest. This requires us to kill a Sourhog, so we need to go back to the system. Okay, we're good. To kill the Sourhog for this quest, we're likely going to need to use range. And this brings up another debate, shops. I have decided I will sparingly use shops. Cats are lazy, they love convenience, but I want to stick to getting my items from available sources as much as possible. So our plan is to finish a Porcine of Interest using range, hope we're assigned tasks we can actually do and train Slayer, we'll train combat stats and get the necessary Slayer level to go get good gear, we'll get some agility levels and better food, and then we'll take on Ictalarn's Little Helper. God, my little kitty's gonna be all grown up by then. Enough yapping, let's get into it. We're gonna start by running back into Varrock because today we have a plan. To start, we're going to be doing the Natural History Museum. Cats hang out in museums, I guess. I don't know, who cares? I have to call out while we're on the way there that, as you can see, our kitty has a name now. The Named Pets plugin was made for this account. Alright, Natural History Museum done. Now we'll grab this leather body and cook these shrimp because we are going to go to the Stronghold of Security. We need coins for range training equipment, a scimitar from Al Kharid, and a chronicle. Floor 1 done. Gift of Peace. Grain of Plenty. We're going all the way to the bottom. I am locked in. Alright. Big moment. Oh, Fluffs. We did it. Oh, jeez. Oh my god, it's a fancy boots kind of pick. Oh, buddy. Oh, Fluffs. Good job, girl. Now, we run back into Varrock, because we are going to go stop by the range store. I'm probably going to get a good amount of bronze bolts, so let's buy a few. Alright, maybe a little bit of overkill, but I think that we'll be fine. That's at least, enough to get us started, enough to get some early range levels. We can always come back here with the Chronicle if we need, so now it is on to Al Kharid. Passing through the Desert Gate for the very first time. Exciting, exciting. Alright, hello Zeke. We're just gonna get one measly Iron Scimitar for now. Taking a common route here to go to Draenor to get our Chronicle. I've gotta say, my level of stress in the Stronghold security was way more than I expected. Just because Fluffs Jr. here was with us, you know, running through it on my own is one thing, but I was worried that some dumb mechanic was going to take a cat life from me. Went ahead and bought a Chronicle and 4 pages. These are honestly a little bit pricey for how much money we have available right now, but we got 4. I think that should be enough. And then I also got a Cabbage Cape just because it's probably going to be a long time until we get a cape slot. Now that we have everything we need, it's time to kill our first mob that isn't a tutorial island rat or chicken. It's going to be a mainland chicken. Chickens and seagulls are some of our best early mobs to kill, but chickens drop feathers and cats love feathers. Once we have some decent base stats, we'll send a Sour Hog attempt. Because level 2 ranged, absolutely gigantic. Level 2 prayer. Oh god, we have a visitor. What's this guy up to? Every time people like Mr. Breen 8921 walk by, I just imagine them putting the pieces together in their head of seeing me in this gear with a cat, ranging chickens with bronze bolts. I'm probably going to be going for, our first random event. I'm sure that there could be a debate around which random events I should or shouldn't do, but I just think the goofiness of this account goes great with random events, so let's do our very first random event, the pinball. I do want to play a game of pinball. Yes, pinball's fun. Fluffs Jr. is so confused on where we are and what we're doing. See ya. 5 emerald. Not terrible, I guess. You know, these are worth holding until we go back to the bank. As I was saying, I'm probably going to be going for, I don't know, maybe base 20 combats. I guess I'll see how far I get with these bolts. I've already used a bit, and I haven't been doing great about picking them up. Coming back in to say we got our first beginner clue. This gives us the opportunity to go ahead and address clue scrolls now. There are a few essential cat-themed items we need from clue scrolls. From beginner clues, there aren't any cat-themed items, but I will still complete them just to see what we get. From easy clues, we have the Bob shirts, and the most important item we can get from a clue scroll, the Staff of Bob the Cat. As it's been theorized in the comments, I'm not going to allow myself to start using magic until we have this staff. From medium clues, we have the cat mask, and there aren't any cat-themed items from hard and elite clues. But just like beginner clues, I will try to complete them. I'm going to allow myself to keep any and all clue rewards, and after our current goals are complete, we'll discuss the long-term plans for clue grinding. We're going to have to do a lot of easy clues, and I'm hoping we get spoons so that we can actually use magic. Looking at the beginner clue we got, it requires a chef's hat, so I'm just going to be dropping this and moving on. If there's ever one that makes sense for us to try to knock out a few steps on, we'll do it, but I'm not going to sit here and stress about this first clue that we got on the account. It should be the chicken that gives us 20 range. And there it is, that is level 20 range. So I'm going to switch to training combat. I've been super diligent about picking up bones and feathers. We've got 2.4k feathers. We're already at level 12 prayer, which is nice. From here, I'm probably going to get base 10s, then we'll go get more bronze bolts, and then we'll send the Sour Hog attempt. Our second random event on the account is the frog. You know, I don't know what this is going to say about me as a person, but I'm just going to give this big frog a fat kiss on the lips because that is tradition. So with this next kill, I should have 10 defense. That rounds out our melee stats here. So the next thing we're gonna do is probably go get some fish for Fluffs Jr., just because we're running a little bit low. So we're at the Lumbridge fishing spot now. I'm just gonna get a few shrimp to hold over Fluffs Jr., but I really wanna get better food for myself before we go into the desert and go for the Catspeak amulet. So I'm probably gonna be aiming to have a full inventory of lobster for that quest. I went ahead and picked up 200 bronze bolts from the range shop. I'm gonna go ahead and home teleport and we'll head back to Draenor, get the quest started. I just wanna call out, we killed 647 chickens for 10 attack, strength, defense, and 20 range. It's also nice that we got the 16 prayer. The XP wasn't actually bad, being really diligent about burying bones. And the 4.2k feathers is absolutely huge. So I had to backtrack really quickly because I remembered we need a knife and a rope for a porcine of interest. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up this knife spawn in the Lumbridge kitchen basement, and then we're gonna be able to get rope from Ned. I actually just remembered that I cannot use the Lumbridge range because we haven't completed Cook's Assistant. I'm not gonna worry too much about the food for this fight. We'll at least see how one attempt goes. So I'm just gonna use these shrimp that I have and see if this is enough to get me through. The Sour Hog does have a max hit of 6, and it uses range and hits pretty consistently, so I'm a little bit scared, but we'll just try one, and we have the emergency teleport with the Chronicle if we need it. Let's get some rope from Ned. So to start a porcine of interest, you just have to read this notice board right here. I feel like a witcher. Now with the quest started, we'll come over and talk to Sarah. So Sarah just told us that she lost a cart full of produce to a mysterious beast very close to the village. So one note about this quest is that it has a few cutscenes. There are ways to very easily lose cats, and just generally cutscenes scare me. So with that being the case, I am gonna pick up Fluffs, at least for the cutscenes. Maybe if I find a moment in combat with the Sour Hog, I'll drop Fluffs and let her experience the battle. So we investigated the cart that was toppled over, and now we're at the strange hole to investigate. I'm gonna call Fluffs Jr. and pick her up. So I think we need to go investigate. Yeah, there's a skeleton over here. Oh my god. I don't look okay. I wonder if he smells the cat in my inventory. Here comes our queen. Hey, mommy. What happened? Where am I? God, look at my character's eyes. Jesus. So I have picked up Fluffs Jr. in preparation for this fight. So a really common strategy here is to enter this room and then wait 10 minutes for the Sour Hog to de-aggro. I honestly just cannot be bothered. This guy's kind of hitting. Alright, I am not loving this fight at the moment. This is generally the spot where you can kind of trade back and forth with the Sour Hog, so we're going to try that. We've already eaten our entire cake. I don't even think I've hit on this guy. This spot is not a safe spot. It's not even really a flinchable boss. This just lets me control the pace of the fight a little bit more. Okay. All right, I think this is going to be possible with the food we have. I am shooting this guy on accurate, so if there's not an XP drop because I miss, it's almost hard to time. But I think we're looking good. We're going to get this guy down. God, this guy's hitting on me. Damn, I really got to clutch up here. All right, we have 4 shrimp left. I don't know about this attempt. All right, I'm getting some Sharp Eye in the mix. 20 health left. Oh, it's a 4? That's huge. Okay, this should be possible. I've just got to get pretty lucky here. I have 2 shrimp left. Okay, I am not going to risk it here. I'm just going to have to get out of here. That hurts, but this is absolutely possible if we get a little bit more food. All right, we are overly prepared for our second attempt. We're so close. That's it. Sour Hog down. Now we're gonna cut the foot off the dead Sour Hog. God, that quest gave us 5,000 coins. That's actually kind of wild. So now we're gonna be able to go talk to Spira. I did it. I killed the Sour Hog and collected the bounty from Sarah. Very impressive, Slayer. So what happens now? I'm awarding you 30 Slayer points. I forgot about that reward. and that is a portion of interest done. A quest point, 1,000 Slayer XP, 30 Slayer reward points, which is kind of crazy, and some reinforced goggles. So the very next step is to get a Slayer task. Shit. So obviously, if I had enough quest points, I could use almost all of these block slots specifically for Spira so that she's pretty much guaranteed to assign us something we can do, but we don't even have 50. So I'm gonna go to Turiel. We'll see what happens. All right, Turiel, please, I am begging. So I have just learned that Turiel will not let you skip the task you're on if it's a task he would have assigned himself. This changes things. I'm gonna have to go back and use a skip and see if we can get a task we can do in Draenor. I've learned a lot, and now it's really time to pray. All right, let's go ahead and cancel this Minotaur task. Oh my god. All of our points are gonna be used to skip this task, which is extremely scary, but we have to send it. Oh my god, big moment. Cave crawlers, we can do those. I originally planned to end this video when we had our Catspeak amulet, but honestly, I'm still learning to balance progressing the account while keeping the content engaging. I want the baseline for the quality of the content on this channel to stay as high as it is now, and with that being the case, I don't want to delay this video any longer. In the next video, we'll finish up our final prep to go into the desert and get our Catspeak amulet. In this episode, we were able to lay a really good foundation to start actually being able to do content, so I'm really excited to keep working on this, and I'll see you guys soon. God, I almost forgot. Fluffs Jr. wanted to show you guys something before we leave.
Big Man Blastoise, big Man Blastoise, big Man Blastoise.